Hey, what's going on, guys? Aarava here, and welcome to this F1 2018 mod gameplay video here. We're here on Assetto Corsa to check out the absolutely awesome F1 2018 mod by the guys over at Race Sim Studio. So, just like they did last year, called the Formula Hybrid car with 2017, they've done a Formula Hybrid 2018 car, which is meant to be a generic 2018 F1 car. So you can see a lot of the characteristics of this car have been kind of cherry-picked from a lot of different cars on the grid this year. You know, like the Red Bull style little nose stub, you've got the Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull style end-plate barge boards. Obviously, to regulations, you've got the shorter shark fins and the halo there. And today, we've also got a 2018 skin pack for a lot of the F1 2018 liveries. Links will be all in the description below. And more importantly, the top link will be the link to Race Sim Studio's website where you can go and purchase this mod. It's not too expensive, and for what you're getting, which is a really fantastically well-made car with some great physics, and it looks absolutely stunning there in the Assetto Corsa game, really worth your bang for your buck. So if you're interested in checking out the mod and want to get it for yourself on Assetto Corsa after you've seen this video, then check it out in the link below. And first of all here, the gameplay you're about to see is actually just my very first kind of laps on this mod. So this is literally a clip record, booted up the game for the first time here, and drove this car out the garage. So kind of getting used to it and immediately trying to get a feel for the car. And I was quite surprised actually how natural it felt, because a lot of times when you have these mods which are quite ambitious on top of a game like Assetto Corsa, or you know, R Factor 2 or whatnot, R Factor 1 in the past, you know, sometimes it can take a long while to get used to the mod, because it's a very unique style of driving. It's not really anything like you have with other single-seater cars, and it just feels sometimes a little bit unnatural almost. But this felt very comfortable straight off the bat. You know, felt the weight of the car, felt the downforce was clearly there. That's another thing. A lot of the times, especially with Assetto Corsa, I've noticed that there's just sometimes natural understeer in a lot of the single-seater cars, and there's just not enough downforce, in my opinion, that's put into some of these cars. But this mod just had it straight away, you know, flat out into cops if you had enough confidence, and flat out into back into Beckett's, just lifting off, you know, slightly obviously when you get to the second phase of it, and you know, engine braking down, and straight away familiar kind of way to drive it actually, but obviously a little bit different to what I'm used to with the Codemasters games, obviously being a Assetto Corsa, a bit more of a simulation game, but you know, still actually quite similar-ish in terms of it wasn't a massive shock to the system here, and getting used to the car was actually, you know, pretty quick. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm completely 100% confident right now and comfortable with it. Obviously, I'm doing the laps and kind of trying to get comfy enough to make a cool little video for you guys, but if I kept on playing it, I think I would get very, very comfortable with it. So, you know, in that aspect, very nice. And obviously, as you saw at the very beginning, looking around the car on 360, they've done a stunning job. Like, they've battered it out of the park. It's one of those mods where I'm really envious of a mod being able to be made like this for Assetto Corsa. It's something that I dream of being able to be possible in a Codemasters games, because if you have this car and this mod combined with the good AI from Codemasters games, then it would be literally a dream come true. Because again, like time and time again, every time I come back to these games like Assetto Corsa, you go to other kind of more simulation games, you kind of really actually realize, and I can appreciate a lot more how good and we all have it on the Codemasters games, of how good their AI are. Because these games, although they may be more realistic in terms of the cars and the driving and whatnot, the AI are pretty subpar. Obviously, they're kind of all made from the ground up, probably more to be done with multiplayer racing, but obviously, if you take someone like me, I don't really have much interest in that. I want to play single player most of the time, so, you know, a dream like that would be a car like this in the Codemasters games, but unfortunately, just not possible. But it's still a lot of fun just to even do hot laps in. But anyways, now we're going to get into some gameplay of an actual race. We've got 18 cars here. We have nearly the entire F1 2018 grid, minus, I believe, the Haas cars. We just couldn't find a skin for them quite yet, so we've got 18 runners here for a few little laps around Silverstone. You can see the quite remarkable AI into turn 1. So having to take a little bit easy then, but we're up into P10, and we'll see how we can go racing them a little bit and just kind of get used to the car. Again, this was kind of within probably the first, I think after an hour of kind of doing a few hot laps of this car just by myself. This was me trying against the AI for the first time here, and so we have a few different clips. I think this first one goes pretty long. I think we get to about lap 5 before there's a kind of major issue that I can't really keep on going, because it's just a bit annoying, and rather just restart it here. But we get in towards Luffield then, trying to go around the outside of 2 if we can. One of the Red Bull cars here, and it's going to be tricky on the exit. Try and plant the power as early as we can. A little bit of a tank up, but we managed to get it done, and we're up into 8th place then. But you can see on the top of your screen, I'm going to be playing around with the MGUK settings here. So just like was with the Formula Hybrid 2017 car, and also just generally a lot of mods, and also with the base. Remember, Assetto Corsa naturally has the 2017 Ferrari in it, remember, as well. So just like with that car and like the mod these guys made for last year, you can play around with the MGUK setting and the MGUH in switching from motor or to battery. With MGUK, it's really, they've got a lot of different settings. You've got charging, you've got balance low, balance high, overtake mode, and then hot lapping. So playing around with that all the time constantly. You're into corners, going down to charging. Then when I want to make an overtake, go to balance high. And then if I'm just generally trying to chase down a car, balance low. And then I didn't really want to put it into overtake or hot lap for too long. I think at some point I maybe put it into overtake mode for literally a split second. But you can see, if you look closer on the dashboard on my steering wheel, that green bar on the left does actually fluctuate up and down as I'm moving around these cogs. So really fantastic simulation of that entire MGUK kind of setting there. I don't know how realistic that is to real life, because I don't think the drivers actually have that much of a say in MGUK, because actually with the new hybrid systems, the MGUK and MGUH work in tandem a lot of the time, and it's all done by electronics. So I don't think necessarily the drivers actually have that much control. Obviously they have an overtake mode, and they also have settings to change if the car's derating or they want it to derate on purpose, but I don't think it's quite as direct as this mod does it. But that's kind of a good thing in my opinion with this mod, because it's almost like the old-fashioned curve system where if you want more power, you just kind of switch the setting on and it starts to blast off the extra power you've gained from that energy recovery system under braking whilst you've been setting it in charging, and you can use that to try and overtake cars here. So you can see constantly in the top, I'm just changing it left, right and center on my dial. If you don't know, I'm using a Thrustmaster TSPC Racer, so just using the little dials they have on the bottom of the wheel, constantly just changing it left and right, left and right, left and right, to go from charging, bounce low, bounce high, as I said. And so now we're on towards lap 3, up into P7. So made pretty decent progress here, but I think we're soon going to get to a point where there's a little bit of a fluff up for me against the AI. Very nerve-wracking times against Assetto Corsa AI, because you never know what they're going to do. You can see here down the inside of two cars there. I try to get the McLaren there, but then I got a kind of 2-for-1 deal, so I try to go around the outside of the Mercedes car. I think that's Bottas there, or quote-unquote Bottas. Obviously, it's not actually an AI car like that, but you can see a little bit of contact made. Is a little bit of a switchback move. Didn't work out there. DRS open now as we go down towards the Lillfield section down the inside, but then we make a bit of contact, and the cars are sent spinning. A bit of a funny little bit of contact there, you know, very sensitive contact with the gearbox there. So a little bit annoying, because that kind of flustered me and kind of took off the entire kind of momentum, and then I get punted by a car behind me, and then punted again. And at the moment we're in Sebastian Vettel's car, and ironically I'm playing a bit of ping pong with the AI. So I think that's going to be the end for this clip on this one. I'll try another attempt a little later on, and we'll try again and try and get some good racing in. But yeah, I saw no point to continue on, because there was so big. There's too much of a big of a gap for the AI to the next AI after I had that spin, to kind of have a bit of an entertaining race with the AI, or trying to have an entertaining race with the AI. Like I said, that's always the challenge with these videos. When you go to these other games, it's very difficult to actually have a nice race, and entertaining one at that, with the AI cars. But diving down the inside now in the village section, trying to get up the order, getting very aggressive and getting the elbows out here, up into P12, down the inside of the left hand, trying to squeeze out that Renault. I think that is, yeah, and it managed to actually get us around the outside, so fair play there, and a little bit of a lift off, having to go evasive action as the car started to get away from me a little bit there. But we're going to compose ourselves and now try and get underway, and again getting straight into those settings to try and save some MGUK when we can, and trying to save it up for the straights. To be fair to the AI, they did actually get up to speed this time in this run, so it took me an entire lap, actually nearly an entire lap, to catch up to this entire train and start to get on the back and actually look into an overtake on this Renault. As you can see, a Force India there on the right has a yellow flag issue in the village section. I don't know quite what happened there. I'm assuming maybe that a contact was made with another AI car and he kind of span out there, but now trying to gain the time on the Renault. Lost a bit of time in the village section, kind of having a look at that Force India, but now as we go down towards the Luffield again, constantly changing that setting and then trying to line up this pass. We've got plenty of MGUK to use later in the back straight, but we're going to get up to Cops and then Maggot to Beckett, so basically that's the section where I can gain some time on the AI, so that'll be the time to put it in charging, basically lift and coast a little bit and just gain the time in the corners, and then just knock it up into balance high or even overtake mode, open the DRS, and we go down towards Stowe, or even before then, let's see if we can get a move maybe into Maggot. Let's see, it's going to be close, and just you can see there's just not enough space there to go side by side on this game at least, and so I have to take it nice and easy, a little bit over the curbing, a bit aggressive on that, but nice and easy now on the throttle, and then hard and fast. We're going to bump it up into a higher setting. We're going to open up the DRS flap. You can see you're going to gain in this slipstream here, pull out to the right, but even now it's not done in set. We don't quite have the overspeed here area, because remember, these cars are all the same actually. Obviously, they're different skins, but they're all the same car. So unlike F1 2018 for real, I don't have the advantage of being in the Ferrari. All these cars are the exact same, so that's why they're the McLaren's up there, or I think there's even a Sauber for Romeo, but we eventually do get it done, and we're up the order into 9th place. But they're all the same car, so obviously equally matched. But obviously that's why I say in a multiplayer setting, you can imagine this would be a great mod to actually use in terms of all the cars are definitely going to be all equal. You can see now going down the inside of one of the Red Bull cars, close up there, a bit of contact made. I'm going to try and hang it on the long way around. Doesn't quite work out. We get a lot of understeer there in second gear, so I have to wait until the next straight as we're going down towards Lovefield Open DRS once again. I should also mention that you might have seen DRS was available from lap 1, just one of those things that they can't code into the actual game itself. But here we go, round the outside of the Red Bull then, going to be close, squirt the throttle, trying to get the nose in to the inside, riding the curb a little bit cautious there, because the car can go off quite quickly on the curbing, but the Red Bull goes really wide, and we're able to make the move very easy as we now go towards Cops, then we're up into P8. But anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to leave the commentary for today's video, because I know a lot of you might want to just see the raw gameplay, so we're going to cut away, and you guys can see and kind of hear the raw gameplay from on board, and then right at the end, there's going to be some awesome third-person camera shots of this mod, so I recommend you either stick around or skip towards the end and see those off-camera shots. But if you did enjoy the video, hit that like button, let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, do get to subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. I've been Ever. Hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.